Hello, everybody. Welcome to Strawberries Gamer Society. It is nice to see there's somebody here this evening, and tonight's topic is siblings without rivalry. So, this is a topic for which there is an entire book, and the book is a book by Adele Faber and Eileen Maslish, I want to say. I don't know how to pronounce it properly. They also wrote the book, How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and How to Listen So Kids Will Talk. And their book on siblings without rivalry is my absolute favorite parenting book. Oops, that was the wrong key. There we go. All right, that was my absolute favorite parenting book. And so I wanted to share it with you guys. And it's a topic that most people, even though this book is written from the perspective of the parent, the skills in the book are useful to just about anybody if you're having difficulties with your siblings. Or when I was looking at it, some of those skills look like they would work for if your parents are having problems fighting with one another. Then a lot of the skills that they name could also work for helping with your parents' relationships as well, depending on how well your parents will actually listen to you. So let's see here what I would like to do. I was out here at Castle Drakkenberg earlier in the day with my daughter. She is building a new mob grinder, and I was delivering some supplies to her earlier. The visitor's pass still doesn't work, unfortunately. She's figured out where the problem is, but unfortunately not yet how to fix it. There's a hopper that gets in the way. It works well if the hopper that burns the visitor pass isn't there, but when you put that visitor pass in, or when you put that hopper in, then the whole door doesn't work anymore. City keys work, but I am not a citizen of Castle Drakkenberg. Hello, hi Petra, nice to see you here this evening. Hello, Emu3, excellent. I'm glad to see you back again tonight. So last night, then, at the end of the evening, I was asking people about topics, and someone asked of what were topics that I had planned, and one of them was a book review of the book Siblings Without Rivalry. So I had my plan when I said that I'd do that book last night was that I'd spend this afternoon rereading the book. And I will be absolutely honest with you guys. Tommy streamed this afternoon, and I watched that with my daughter. And then after Tommy, we went to Arid's stream and we watched that for a while. And then we watched Evan MC Gaming's new. I missed the area here. We watched Evan MC Gaming's new summary of like the second war in L'Manberg, and that was really fun. But to make a long story short, I consumed content all afternoon and I didn't finish rereading the book. So this was my favorite book when the kids were little, however. I read lots and lots and lots of parenting books because I saw being a parent as that is my job. That's my full-time job. And so I tried to educate myself on the best ways to do that sort of thing. And this, of all of the parenting books that I read, and I read a lot of them, this I learned the most from and I gained the most from. What is this? Something has changed about our area here. Okay, well, this is where I want to go. So I'm just heading back to where I live, and I was planning to basically level up our librarians. I am looking for so I need more paper to level up the librarians, and what I'd really like is books of protection so that I can get more Prot 4 armor. So that's kind of the stream goal for this evening, is finding a librarian who will sell me books of protection. And so that's what I'll be working on in the Minecraft world while I talk about one of my favorite books. Sonato Fox, welcome back! I have missed you. I had thought about sending you a text. I'm trying to read what you're saying there. Looks like it might be trying to say hello. I'm not sure though. But welcome back. I had been considering sending you a whisper and trying trying to decide whether or not, because I'm a grown up and most of you guys are kids, and I'm not sure how weird it is. Like, I don't want to be one of those people on the internet who stalks children, but at the same time, I don't know, I care about you guys. And so I am really glad to see you back, and all of that. And I think my rule for myself is if one of you guys sends me a whisper first, then I will consider that consent to contact you. But otherwise, I will not initiate contact with you guys. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's see. Yeah. Well, welcome. I am so glad you're here. Yeah, we've got new people here as well. Emu joined us last night for the first time. And yeah, so Emu, you can see more of the server because last night I was basically reading the entire time, so I was not able to walk about in the server and show a tour. So we started off with Castle Drakkenberg, which I think is probably new to Sonato Fox as well, because it's pretty much new in the last week. And now I am following the trail home towards the town of Eulenstadt, and that is where I make my primary home. And I hear a guest behind me, and hopefully it's not messing things up too badly. Let's get out of the nether. Well, I am so glad that you are able to be back again. And yeah, I wasn't sure if you were like one of the people in Texas who was without power or what, but I am glad you are here. And I am finally starting to learn my way out of Taco Cat's house. So now that I've come out that direction. There were times when I would literally like walk in circles inside Taco Cat's house trying to get out of here. So I need to check. I think I need more paper is what I need. So I need to go kill the cows, get more leather, get more paper, and basically get things to sell to the librarians for books is the next step here. But on to the topic of siblings without rivalry. So this, as I said, this is one of my favorite books. The authors initially wrote a book called How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen Till Kids Will Talk. And that whole book can pretty much be summarized as listen to what your kids are telling you and don't just jump in as a parent and think that you know best and that you know the whole situation until after you've actually studied the situation, and ask the kids for their opinion of what the situation is. And one of the best stories that I remember from that book is oh, hello, there it goes. Now I can read it. Awesome. That is cool. Yeah, so so how to talk so kids will listen and how to listen so kids will talk. And my favorite example from that book is the lady had a 3-year-old who was throwing a fit every single time they went to the grocery store. And they just didn't know what to do because, you know, with a 3-year-old, you can't exactly leave them at home. You have to take them to the grocery store with you when you go. And they were having real troubles with it. And so oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you like my vase. I try to keep it organized. It's never as organized as I'd like, but yeah, these are the things that can be sold in the village there. And you saw the farm the other day where I farm these things, and from time to time I'll bring them over here if I don't want to bring them all the way down to the village to sell. But back to the story. Okay. But what I have convinced myself of here is that I need to go harvest a bunch of sugarcane. We have a number of sugarcane farms, and that's what I'm going to do next, is harvest sugarcane. And I also need to fix my shovel, apparently. So the lady said that she finally talked to her 3-year-old and asked, what's so scary about the grocery store? And she couldn't get a really good answer, but she said, honey, we have to go to the grocery store. We need to buy food. But what would help you be in the grocery store and not crying and throwing a fit the entire time that we're in the grocery store? And the 3-year-old's response was, can I carry a Kleenex? And the woman thought it was kind of odd, but she let her 3-year-old carry a Kleenex with them in the grocery store. And amazingly enough, that made all the difference. And speaking from personal experience, with my daughter not wanting to go into stores at about the same time, carrying a Kleenex was not the issue with her, but listening to her definitely helped. And in her case, oh, hey! Wait, chat news? Oh, Wrecker, you made it! Cool! Chat rules can't stop you because you can't read. All right. Yeah, well, I've got some moderators here. If you happen to break the rules, then they'll give you the smackdown, so don't worry about it. So, with my daughter, the issue was she needed glasses at a very, very young age, like just barely 3 years old. And every single time that she would go to the grocery store, like everyone she met, and it was worse with the ladies who were giving out free samples at the Costco. And, oh, I forgot I was going to put sweeping edge on this, or did I already? Oh, yes, it has sweeping edge. Excellent. And the ladies giving out samples at the Costco, that was the worst. Like, they would make such a big deal about how cute she was wearing glasses, and every stranger in the checkout aisle would make a huge deal to her about how cute her glasses were when she's only 3 years old, because most 3-year-olds don't wear glasses. And she just didn't want to talk to strangers anymore. And so once I listened to her about what was bothering her in the store, which I can totally see that that's a thing, then we were able to basically, what we did was we made business cards. And we made business cards for her, and we actually, we got them printed at Vistaprint, so they were nice looking business cards. They cost like $10. And they said, when you say cute, I hear different. And whenever somebody said that to her, then she was able to hand them a business card which explained why it felt so bad to her to have people tell her that her glasses were so cute. And that really worked for us. So that's one of the things I learned from their original book. And let's see here. So that's one of the things I learned from their original book. And so I trusted these people on their parenting techniques, because it's like, oh, wow, this stuff works. Yeah, you had that happen in your family too. I know it is a challenging thing to deal with, and everybody's got their challenges, and all the challenges are different. But the problem is, you got to listen to people to figure out what would solve their problem. Like, what worked for my daughter might not necessarily have worked for your brother, but when you listen, then it helps. And so that's a good thing. And I can hope for you guys that your parents would listen, but if they don't listen, then maybe you can sort of turn the tables on them a little bit. So I assume, based on Twitch's rules, that everybody here is 13 or older, and you can start, having some maturity of your own and be the parent sometimes when your parents aren't being the parent. Yeah. And so the people who wrote this book, though, they wrote in the foreword to their other book how they had one chapter in the original book on sibling relationships. And as they were writing their book, they just kept coming up with more and more problems with this chapter because this one chapter had expanded to be like 100 pages long. And they just, no matter how they edited it, they weren't happy with how to make the siblings relationship chapter smaller. And finally, their editor said, why don't we just make that its own book? And as soon as they did that and they had the freedom to make it its own book and cut it down, is my inventory? Oh my goodness, my inventory is full of meat. Okay, and there's still so many cows. Okay, well, let me get out of here and ditch some of this stuff in the ender chest. Come on, let me through, cows, and then I'll be back. And so when they gave themselves permission to write an entire book about that topic, then they were able to finish their first book and put all this information into the other book. So the thing is, yeah, I should put fire. Well, the thing is, I thought about putting fire aspect on that sword, but I can sell the raw beef to the butcher, and that's what I want I want the money for the raw beef. So if I cook it, then I wouldn't get it. My money's back. Yeah. All you can see is me slaughtering cows. Yeah, that's the kind of person I am. I like to think of myself as the person who has a bunch of cows. They have a really good life and one bad day at the end. But somebody else has overbred the cows, so I'm going to have to go on a righteous crusade for ethical treatment of animals or something, because this is really a bit dense for cows. Okay, let's just get a few more of these out of here. Yeah, I've got 2 smokers in my kitchen, so we're good. So back to the book at hand. Siblings Without Rivalry is the expanded version of all of the advice that they didn't have time. Oh, it's water check time already. Thank you. Of all of the things they didn't have time to do in the first place. Okay. There we go. Yes, so for those who are new to my stream, if I didn't say it last night, then your job as people who are watching is to remind me every quarter hour on the quarter hour to drink water, because otherwise I wind up with a headache after I'm done, and it's not pleasant. So let's harvest some more of this stuff. And there's like 3 different places on the server where we have sugarcane farms. And I should probably plant more over here, because over here is one of the easiest places to harvest it. Okay, and even though it's not totally ready, nothing's gonna hurt me from if I harvest this now. And then I'll plant some more on this side. So Siblings Without Rivalry starts off with a story of, so it assumes, it says very honestly that they know that both men and women can read parenting books, but they've also taught a lot of classes, and they realize that in the reality of the situation is that it more often the person reading the parenting books and taking the parenting classes is the woman in the relationship. And so they want to be inclusive, and occasionally they will do things from a dad's perspective, but for the most part they say we're going to assume that it's the woman who's reading this, and if you're the dad, then you can just make it assume that it's talking about you too. And their first initial example in the book is, how would you feel if you are the wife in a situation and you're married and your husband comes home one day and says, hey honey, guess what? Oh, I'm lagging. Hey honey, guess what? I have brought home a new wife for you. The wife is going to be wonderful. So Oh, I know why this isn't working, because it's too high up. It's like, why can't I plant more stuff? Okay, so the husband says, hey, honey, guess what? I brought home a new wife for you, and this new wife is going to be wonderful, and you're going to love her and enjoy playing with her, and she is going to help keep you company. And isn't that awesome, honey? Aren't you so excited that we're going to have a second wife in the family? And you can kind of imagine that this is not exactly your idea of a good time if you are a wife. And the husband says, and yes, you can, the new wife can have some of the old clothing that you've outgrown. And I have enough love in my heart, honey, for both of you. I can love both of you just as well. Would that feel good? Not really. Yeah, and you can't imagine yourself as a wife. Well, you just have to imagine it from the, what if your wife comes home one day and says, I've brought home a new husband. Now, poly relationships aside, for most people, this is not a positive development. And yet, that's what we're doing to our kids when we suddenly say, guess what? You're going to have a new baby in the house, and I'm going to love the new baby just as much as you. And by the way, the new baby can have some of your old clothing, and the new baby can play with your old toys, even if you still love them. And yeah. And so it doesn't feel too good. And I don't know how many of you guys, actually, if you tell me in chat if you are like an older sibling or a younger sibling or an only sibling, then I'll just kind of have an idea of what we're talking to here. Yeah, imagine a new partner. If we don't want to use the example they used in the book was husband bringing home a new wife, but if you want to picture it as a new partner, suddenly your spouse is bringing home a new partner. And I actually have good friends who have made that work, but that is not the standard case. And is this too loud? It feels like it's too loud to me when I break these things. I'm gonna just turn down the environmental sounds a bit here. Actually, let me turn them down in-game because it just feels too loud to me. Music and sounds. Okay, we want hostile creatures, but why is this so loud? Okay, blocks. We'll make blocks even quieter. Okay, there we go. Back to game. All right. So what have we got? So we have a younger sibling, the middle child from a twin, so you're kind of the oldest, and a younger brother, so you're never alone, and 5 siblings. Oh my goodness. And feels like the only child because your sister moved out when you were 8. And wow, yeah, that's a lot of kids. Or at least that's a lot of kids for modern times. Back in the old times, that wasn't so many. Yeah, my husband's father was, my husband's father was one of 3, but his father before him was the youngest of 9, which is, I think, just pretty incredible. And so anyway, it's one way of looking at how does it feel to the existing kids when you bring home a new kid, and there's potential feelings of resentment there, and as a parent you have to figure out how to deal with it. And yeah, okay, and let me get my notes here so I do this. And yeah, so when a new person comes in, now you have more work, you have to clean up after them. And there are different types of problems that siblings can have. And they told a lot of good stories in the book, which I'm not going to reread all. I'm not going to read you the whole book, but they told a lot of good stories about siblings where the parents would think, oh, the kids fight at home, but surely when they're out on their own, then they stick up for one another. And the parents were shocked to learn that when they were at the bus stop, the older child continued to bully the younger child. Okay, we've got all these. I'm just going back and forth, harvesting where we've got food to harvest. And so there's problems where the kids don't stick up for one another and the parents assume that they would. You can have problems where the kids tease each other continuously. And sometimes because they're siblings and they know exactly where it hurts the most, then siblings, because they know you the best, they can say the words that hurt you the most. And there's problems where sometimes the siblings literally do not see their other fellow sibling as a human being. The sibling is just a plaything to them. They're just a source of amusement. I can get excitement by riling my sibling up, by making my brother or sister, like, I have power to make my brother or sister behave in certain ways if I do certain things. And they don't see their brother or sister as a human being, but merely as a source of amusement for them. Yeah. They watched a movie where the mother got infected and turned into a zombie, and they have a baby, a girl, and the father got bitten, and he slowly turned, and he was carrying the baby, but luckily a tribe saw them, and the father died, and the baby girl is safe, and the sad part is the baby girl didn't know her parents. Wow. The movie is called Cargo. Yeah. Aw. It's always sad when the kids grow up without their mom or dad. So, anyway, that is, I'm going to do the crafting when I get down below, because I don't know with respect to what they want to buy, how much paper versus how many books I'm going to need. Okay, and let's see here, and I put all the leather in here. Let me get one more. I'm going to do one more round on these over here before I go down to the village and sell stuff. Okay. And so, yeah, sometimes a sibling will not see their other sibling as being a human being. And sometimes one of the things that can come between siblings is that their needs really are different, especially if they're different ages, but sometimes even when they are the same age, then different siblings need different things out of their parents, and it's really hard. Like, children in general want fairness and they want equality, but sometimes fair isn't equal, and yet it doesn't necessarily feel that way to the children. And so, oops, let me fix this up. And there's a great graphic it's been on the internet of, it's got 3 people of different heights who are all trying to watch the same baseball game. And one of the people is tall enough to look over this wooden fence. And the other 2 people are not tall enough to look over the wooden fence. And they've got, sometimes the situation may be equal, they're all standing there, but yeah, you guys have seen it too. Sometimes the situation may be equal, they're all standing there, but it's not really fair. And what can you do to change the situation to make it be more, to have more equity? And one of the things you can do is you can give the shorter people a box to stand on. Another thing you could do is completely change the situation so that it's a chain link fence and everybody can see the game without needing a box to stand on. And sometimes fair isn't equal. And for kids, though, especially within the family, sometimes it's hard to see that. And the book has a whole chapter on that sort of thing. So what can you do as the parent to help address these problems with the kids when the kids are constantly bickering? And then what can you guys as fellow kids do, just realizing what the differences are? Yeah. Ah, you say the difference in age thing. My sisters told me she didn't realize how much we actually had in common until this year, as I've gotten older and we actually talk now. Yeah, when there's a big age difference, it can be very different and very difficult for kids. Like one of the things that was in the book, one of the examples in the book was in one family. Oh wait, I need a space in my, you know what? Nobody's here. I'm just going to keep the block on me. Actually, I should confirm that. Yes, nobody is here. One of the examples that they gave in the book was a family where the youngest sibling was 10 years younger than the remaining siblings. And the parents were just at a different life stage when they had the younger one. And so the parents were able to do things for the younger one that they just weren't able to do for the older ones. For example, the younger one was allowed to go to college, and the older ones, they got married at 19, but there wasn't money to send them to college. And later, the younger one, had a college husband, or a college educated husband, and was doing better financially, and was talking about, we're gonna have the mom move in with me because I'm doing better financially. And they're like, yeah, but that's not fair, because we didn't have the same advantages that you had when you were growing up. And they were pretty upset about this. And that is not what I intended to do. Let's try to, how do I make this fair? Talking about fairness. Okay, I want 3 equal stacks of sugarcane. There we go. Okay, that's enough for now. And let's see here. I'm looking for this guy, because I would like them to be able to sell me different books than they can currently sell me. Okay, let them level up a little bit. Yeah. And you say, same, my stepsister and I always talk, and we even do some things and watch movies. Yes, same for me. It's different for the both of us, as she always thinks it's my mom babying me, but it's just different. Yeah, 9-year age difference and a half-sister, so you just grow up entirely differently, and it's really hard to, like, it's easy to have that be a tension between the two of you, and it's hard to keep it together. So let's, ooh, Prot 3, sweet. Okay, that is what I want. So now I need to sell a bunch of other things to get it, to have enough emeralds to buy it, because I need a whole bunch of those. Okay, that is used up, and I only have 16 of these, so I gotta sell other things to other people. Oh. Oh, you're trying to make the people faces. Yeah. Yeah. So types of problems. The teasing can be experienced differently. Sometimes, especially like some people within their groups of friends, then they just tease each other continuously, and that's how they say we are friends with one another, because we tease one another, and we can take it, and we know when to stop when we're hurting each other. Or, sometimes when people have that relationship with one another, sometimes they don't actually know when to stop without hurting each other, and sometimes they do go too far. Okay, we need more butchers down here. That is all of the trades they'll do. I took too many things of meat and not enough chickens. Okay, well, let's sell some books to some of the other people. Oh, the name takes some room. Aha! We still have an interesting container there. That looks interesting in chat. All right. So yeah, so problems, sometimes teasing is experienced differently by different kids. Sometimes they don't see each other as human. Sometimes their needs are different. And so what can a parent do, or in you guys' case, what can you do to acknowledge this? Like, people are fighting in your house. How do you get them to stop fighting and acknowledge the humanity in one another? And so some of the techniques you can use is don't dismiss their feelings when somebody's feeling really angry or upset. They give that this book is one of those great books where they give you a whole bunch of text and a whole bunch of stories, but they also give you a whole bunch of cartoons. And so in the cartoons, they've got a little kid coming to the parent and saying, I really hate the baby and I don't like the baby at all. And the parent in the don't do this side of the cartoon said, oh, you don't feel that way. You'll feel better after you've had a nap. And the parent in the do this cartoon says, wow, you sound really upset and angry at the baby today. And they're acknowledging the feelings of the other child and putting names to those feelings. And my mouse has just stopped working for some reason. And they're acknowledging, there we go, now the mouse is back. They're acknowledging those feelings as opposed to dismissing the feelings towards the other person. Another example that they gave, or another technique you can use, is allow a fantasy world where when the child says, I wish the baby had never been born, or I want to kill the baby, and I want the baby to die, or something like that, then acknowledging the fantasy of, yeah, life would be different if the baby wasn't in the house, wouldn't it? As opposed to just telling the child, no, you don't feel that way, or you're an awful person because you feel that way, then acknowledging that the feelings people have are real is important. Let's see here. I am looking for librarians that buy books. Like this guy. There we go. That was fast. Let's see, who else buys books? And then other things that you can do is channel hostile feelings into creative outlets. So this is something that you can do for yourself if you're feeling really upset, is to, instead of, taking your anger out on your sibling, then you can draw a picture. You can write an essay or write a story where the sibling is the bad guy in the story, or whatever. Oh wait, did that guy take paper? Come on, click. And so you can write stories, you can draw pictures, you can have an outlet other than an outlet that makes the other person feel bad and diminishes the humanity in that person. So other things that can be done, let's see here, you can, the hurtful behavior has to stop. Yeah, treat other people the way you would want to be treated. You don't have to tread on the villagers like that, so treat other people the way you want to be treated. Yeah, I guess you're right. These are, the villagers are people too, maybe? Well, it is a video game. But yes, I certainly see your point there. And essentially, never allow it to escalate into violence, because violence is the situation where you're acknowledging that words have completely failed, and violence can hurt people. Words can hurt people too, but okay, I don't want that. But violence is like people can get seriously hurt when you resort to violence, and it's harder to recover from being physically hit in terms of like being afraid because of that. Oh, yeah, we kind of have them in a little camp here. I would love to make our village much nicer than it is, but as you've seen, I'm not terribly efficient at getting things done. First, we want to make them safe by having the covering around the outside. Oh, am I out of books? Looks like I am out of books. Okay, but I have 43 emeralds, so I can buy a second bit of protection. I think it was from this guy. Come on. Please. Please wake up. Well, yeah, it wasn't that guy. Wasn't that guy. Wasn't that guy. Pretty sure it was this guy. Come on. Please sell me protection. Please get up. Please get up. There we go. Okay. Protection 3, 36 emeralds, and I have 43. Woohoo! Okay, so that's 1, 2. I need one more. So 36 emeralds. What can I sell? I may have to go up and get more things to sell, because unless the butcher is taking... Well, let's see if the butcher's restocked. Hey, butcher. There we go. No, it hasn't restocked yet. Okay. Oh, water check again. Thank you. Wow, time is just flying today. So, yes, stop hurtful behavior, use words instead of violence, and then when you use words, use specific actions as opposed to calling names. So, why saying you're a crybaby is better than hitting somebody, saying something along the lines of it's upsetting that you can't what is it? You're supposed to use I language, not you language. It is upsetting to me that I can't turn on the television without you bursting into tears is better than saying you're a crybaby. And if you try to phrase things in terms of what they call it is I language as opposed to you language, when you say the words that affect you, like when you say I feel this way as opposed to you make me feel this way, then the I feel this way means that you yourself are owning your own feelings as opposed to putting your feelings on the other person, because you're not going to be able to change somebody else's language or somebody else's actions, and they can't change how you feel, but you need to be able to own how you feel and let them know, hey, I'm a person and I have these person feelings, and when your actions are having these person feelings happen in me. I don't have very much here to sell, do I? Yeah, that's probably not enough to do a trade with each of these things. I know I have more in the other village. Is it worth it going back or not? Well, let's see here. I don't need this many leather skins on me. And I definitely don't need this. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the other village. Okay. I don't know. Why do I always feel like it takes so long to get from place to place? It really doesn't take that long to just travel. Except when I'm not paying attention to where I'm going and I keep hitting the edges. So other advice that they have for parents is, oh wait, I need to get not full of stuff before I do this. Other advice that they have for parents is don't make comparisons between your children. That don't say, oh, why can't you be so good at math like your sibling? Or, oh, why can't you do this? And, oh, why can't you do that? Because the kids can't necessarily help that, and it just makes them feel bad. It's not, it makes the rivalry between the two children go. Trying that mod with all the powers and you're the Phantom and traveling is so slow then. Oh, yeah. Is that the one that I think a bunch of them, like I remember Niachu was making she was in the underwater castle and she was like a mermaid or something. Is it that mod? That did look like fun. Yeah, that did look like fun. So let's see here. So don't make comparisons. Equal is less. We kind of already talked about that before. Don't put siblings in roles. So don't say, oh, this is my artistic child and this is my mathematical child, because it only serves to heighten the differences between the children. It's okay for your non-musical child, if they want to play the piano, it's still okay. Even if they're not good at it, it's still okay to let that child play the piano, even if they're not as good at playing the piano as their sibling and they don't pick it up as quickly. It's still, if it's a activity that they'd like to do, then there's no reason not to let them do it. I mean, well, no good reason within that sort of family structure. You might have a good reason for not letting them play the piano, like it's expensive and you can't afford it, but that's not a siblings issue. Why do I have one redstone torch? I'm just gonna go and place that. Bump. Okay, and let's see here. I have, it's not great, but it's enough stuff to sell. Yeah, your parents always say you're the child that has a difficult time. Yeah, and that's not really helpful to anybody to say that. When children are fighting, then give attention to the victim, not the aggressor. So basically, sometimes then children, I know this is true within my family, sometimes children will fight just because they want more attention. And so if you give attention to the child who was the aggressor, then what they're going to do is just like anytime they want attention, let's go over and hit the baby, and then I can have more attention. How much do I have? Okay, this can take a little bit more here. And so you don't want to give them attention for being the aggressor. So what do? Instead, you need to give attention to the victim and say, let's take care of your younger sibling. See, they're crying. Let's look at your younger sibling and see how they're doing. But then you also don't want to encourage the younger sibling to always play the victim. You don't want them to learn, oh, I can get attention by being hurt by my older sibling, because then they'll do things. My husband's father likes to tell the story of when he was little. Then his mother heard him say, let's see here, I should make up names. Birdie, no, and don't hit me, when he was just completely making it up, and his 10-year-old older sister, or 10 years older sister, wasn't hitting him at all. He was just making it up, and the mom didn't realize it. So, people can learn to get attention by playing the victim as well, and that's not a positive way to give your kid attention. So the book recommends that if you're giving attention to the victim, then give them attention in the, now I want you to stand up for yourself a little bit more, in that sense, of give them that kind of attention. Oops, I should have been holding the cow stuff before going to the butcher. Okay, what am I holding? I am holding the wheat. Let's go to the farmer. Come on, farmer. There we go. Yeah, I really need to put these guys in individual houses so that that are clearly labeled as to what things they buy, so it's a lot easier to find them. Okay, well, that worked. Now, where's the other farmer that buys the beets? Well, this guy buys potatoes. It'll do. And where's the third farmer that buys beets? This guy. So let's see here. Wait, why? I never understood why. I would say my sister hit me when she didn't. Oh. Yeah, so Petra, were you responding to Phantom there? Sorry, I didn't read it soon enough to know. Yeah, for attention, just to make her mad. Yep. And that is a thing that kids do. And as parents, then if you can say, you know, you can get attention in other ways, then that's good. Although sometimes you have children who just want more attention that you're capable of giving, and then get a dog that might help. That's their dog, or a fish, perhaps. So let's see here. Give attention to the victim, not aggressor. Help bullies see that they are capable of being civil. And so try not to label your child who is always being more aggressive as you're a bully, you always are being mean, but say, I see that you are trying to solve this problem with violence, but I know that you can think of a way to work out a solution with your sibling where you don't hit one another, and give them a little bit of empowerment of trying to work out a solution that works. And the same thing with victimization. Try to help the victim work out a way where they have power as opposed to needing to always be helpless. And when you have to intervene, when you see that something's going to happen. So they have an example in the book of parents where the parent walks into the room and says, I see a very angry child standing on a chair about to hit another child with a truck. And I see a child standing on the ground with a baseball bat about to knock somebody off a chair. This looks very dangerous. Stop! And state what you see, and state that you think that they can find a solution. So describe what they see, describe what you see, establish limits. It is not okay to hit one another. Separate them if necessary. This is for younger children, presumably. Separate them, and let's see here. So, oops, have I sold all of this stuff? I guess I have. Okay, where's the butcher? Looking for the guy with the pink headband. There he is. Hey. Why are you running away from me? No. There we go. And so that's kind of as far as I got for taking notes in the book, but it's a really good book if you're having problems with your siblings, and I highly recommend, checking it out of the library. The pictures, like, you can kind of learn everything you need to know about what they say in the book by just looking at the pictures, because they've got all these really nice cartoons that make it totally obvious what they're talking about and what kinds of techniques to use. And sometimes you can use these techniques either with yourself with respect to calming down, finding a creative outlet, as opposed to harming your sibling and having a good relationship with your sibling. Or you can sometimes use this on your parents when you find them in an argument, and you can basically say, okay, restate and tell me what the problem is, explain the problem, and I'm sure the two of you can come up with a reasonable solution. So sometimes children can be mediators. I know it has happened in my family from time to time. So yeah, that was it for tonight. And now let me find that librarian and buy the last piece of protection, and then we can put some more protection on our armor. Let's see here. This clearly not this guy. It's one of, oh, I know. If I go to hold emeralds, then they'll all, oh, they all just went to sleep. Well, I guess that makes it a little easier. No, not that guy. Not that guy. Not that guy. Always the last one, right? Nope, not that guy. Where's the librarian that sells the protection book? Sweeping edge. So she's Dutch mending. Oh, this guy. I haven't talked to him yet. Nope, I have talked to him. This guy? Haha! Always the last one. Okay, more books of protection. And that's all I can afford for now. All right. So, oh, hey, Cutie Zoe, you made it on. Okay. So, welcome. I had just finished with Siblings Without Rivalry. So, that is what I did tonight. But I'm glad you made it. Okay, and I need to remember, is it in an anvil that you smash two books together to be the next level of book? I think that's how it works. Yeah. Oh, were you the one who... I remember somebody requested it yesterday. Well, you can always watch the VOD later if you want to, or I really recommend this book. It's got great ways of thinking about things from your other siblings' perspective, and thinking about like ways to talk to one another, and creative outlets for when things are not going as well as they should. So let's make, I really want protection 4 on my chest plate, so that is what I'm about to get. So prot 3 plus prot 3 equals prot 4. And I don't really need to name the book. And now, oh wait, this one already has prot 4. This has prot 2. Those I'm not going to do it to. This one, what do you think? I'm going to put it on the pants next. So, diamond leggings plus prot 4. Let's make this strawberries. What should I name these? Strawberries pants? I can come up with a better name than that. Strawberries leggings. Chat, you guys have a good idea? What should I name my pants? Strawberries leggings. Nope, I can't. Oh, no, there we go. Okay. I just don't like that very much. Strawberries protection. Yeah, I'm not creative either. We might just go with strawberries pants. All right, strawberries pants they are, but they are prot 4 unbreaking mending, and soon they are going to also be netherite. That's my next goal, is to get netherite pants. And then we'll go from there. Alrighty, so I should look for somebody to raid for this evening and play my outro music. Oh, I forgot to play music during the stream tonight. Oh well. Hopefully, well, you guys stayed, so thank you so much. And by the way, I appreciate you guys, and it kind of it makes me feel good to have people who listen to me, because I'm a mom. I did lots of reading on how to be a good mom, and to have people listen to me give mom advice is very affirming for me. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I hope you all have a great day. So let me find my, here we go, my outro music. Where is it? This one. And let's find somebody to raid. If you have a recommendation, go ahead, of course, and make your recommendation. Let's see here. So Nerdy is online and Queen Cack is online. Let me just preview this and see what they're doing.
Earl by Squirrel. Earl, thank you so much for following. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, let's follow Queen Cack, or raid Queen Cack. Looks like she is about to start speedrunning. Okay. Let me figure out how to do this.
Thank you so much for following. Really
yes, I was looking for raid suggestions. Did you want to give one? Quackson. Okay.
Do I have a YouTube?
Is that
I barely
oops,
posted
hold
on
on. So is Quackson, is that Quackity? Or who is Quackson? Oh, she's your friend and just started? Oh, absolutely. Let's do it. Oh wait, is she? Never mind. I don't know I don't know what FYRF is. Let's see. Oh, they are live! Live with 3 viewers, so sure! Let's do it! Okay. /raid QUACCKSON.